Hi beautiful people, welcome back to Style by UC. In today's video I'll be showing you how I created this stunning off-shoulder gown with side gathers and a trimming design. If this is something you like to learn, please keep watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. So for us to make this gown style, you have to fold your pattern paper into two like this. Make sure to arrange it properly. Then after that, I'm going to be marking out my horizontal measurement from my starting line. I'll mark my chest line, my bust point, my under bust, my waist, and the full length of my gown. So after that, I'm just going to rule that lines out. So after that, I'm going to be labeling this, the chest line, the bust point, the under bust, the waistline, and the full length of my gown. Then from the waist, I'll go down by 8 inches and I'm going to rule that line out. So after that, I'll be labeling this my hip line. So on the top of my pattern paper, I'm going to mark out my shoulder measurement, which is 16 divided by 2, and I have 8 inches. Then from that point, I came down by 1 inch. Then for my neckline, I use 4 inches for the width. Then I'm going to slant this from the 1 inches I came down with to the neckline. Then from that point, I will come down by 3 inches for my neck depth. So I'm just going to mark that out with a curve ruler, just like this. So after that, the next thing now is to measure what I have on the shoulder, which is 8 inches here, so I can do a straight line. So after that, on the armhole line, then I'm going to divide it into two, just like this. Then I will make a mark there, then I'll come in by ½ inch. Then after that, I'm just going to mark my bust measurement, which is 8.5. Bust measurement divided by 4, which is 8.5. So I'm going to mark that out with a curve ruler. Then after that, I will mark my nipple to nipple measurement from my waistline to my chest line. I'll just mark 4 inches. My nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches. Divided by 2 is 4 inches. Then on getting to the hip line, I'm going to remove 1 inch and I'll mark 3 inches all the way to the full length of the gown. So with the help of a straight ruler, I'm just going to rule this out, just like this. Then on getting to the hip, just place your ruler like this in a slant form and connect it back to the waistline. Also from the hip, we are just going to mark that to the full length of the gown, just like this. So after that, I will be taking half inch on both sides for my darts from the waistline. Just measure half inch. Then from the hip line, I will come up by 3 inches. Then from my nipple bust point, I will come down by 1 inch. Then I'm going to connect that just like this. also to the 3 inches that I came up with. So after that, I'll be doing the under bust tightening. So from this point, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch. Then on the side part, I will mark 1 inch. Then I'm going to connect that with my ruler. So on this point, I use the curvy part of my ruler and I connected it back to that 1 inch that I came down with from the bust point. Then I'm going to connect this back to that leg, just like this. So the next thing now is to measure what I have on my shoulder. Then I'm going to divide it into 2. So after that, I'm going to connect that to the chest line, just like this. So I'll be taking half inch on both sides for the shoulder dart. So I'm going to connect from this point now. I will come up by 1 inch. From the chest line, I will come up by 1 inch. Then I'm going to connect this the half inch for the shoulder dart, just like this. So I'm just going to blend this part to remove every pointness. So the next thing now is this part will be going out. So after that, I'm going to measure what I have on shoulder, the dart I removed there. Then I'm going to replace it here with 1 inch. Then I'm going to connect this back to the shoulder line. Then you are just going to connect it back to the chest line, just like this. Then after that, I will measure what I have here. Since I already marked out my bust measurement, I'm just going to add 1.5 for my sewing allowance. Then I'm going to place my ruler like this and connect it back to that 1 inch that I extended my shoulder with. Just the 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. So on this part, under bust, I'm going to mark my under bust round, which is 6.5. Then I'll measure the dark intake, then I will place it. Then 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. Also on the waistline, I'm going to mark my waist measurement plus dark intake. Then I'm going to replace it here plus 1.5 for sewing allowance. And I'm going to connect this with my ruler. So from that point now, I'll come down by 1 inch because I don't want it to be exactly on my waist. So I'll come down by 1 inch and I'm going to connect it back to the dart leg, just like this. So after that, I will just go up by 1/2 inch here, just to give this part a little curve. instead of leaving it straight. So I'm just going to connect it back to that 1 inch. So the next thing is for me to cut it out. So I just have to hold this part down with my pin so it doesn't shift at all. Then I'm going to, so I'll continue with the cutting. So this is what I have for the front. Let's keep this aside so we can work on the back part. So for the back part, I already ruled out my starting line, my zipper line. So from that starting line, I will mark my chest line, my bust point, my waistline, and the full length of my gown, which is 38 inches. So after that, I'll be rolling a line across, and I'll be labeling this, the chest line, the bust point, the waistline, and the full length of the gown. Then on the waistline, I'll come down by 8 inches, just as I did in the front, and this will serve as my hip line. So on my shoulder, I will mark my shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. Then I will mark the neck width of 4 inches. Then the neck depth for the back is 2 inches. You can as well use the same neckline for the front and the back. Then I'll come down by 1 inch. Then I'll slant that to the neckline. Then with the help of my curve ruler, I'm going to rule my neck line like this. Then on the chest line, I will mark 8 inches so I can rule out a straight line. Then I'll connect that to the shoulder line. Then I'll mark 8.5 for my bust measurement. Then I will connect that with a curve ruler just for the back armhole, just like this. So the next thing now is to mark my dart. So for my dart on the waistline, I will mark 4 inches from the waist to the chest line. I will mark for 4 inches. Then on the hip line, I will mark 3 inches. Then I'll continue to mark that 3 inches to the full length of the gown. Then after that, I'll connect that with a spatula, just as we did in the front. So on the dart, on the waistline, I will mark half inch on both sides for my dart. Then on the hip line, I will come up by 3 inches. Then on the bust point, I will come down by 1 inch. Then I will connect that with a spatula, just like this. So on the shoulder line, I'll measure what I have left, then I'll divide it into 2. Then I'll make a mark there. Then with the help of a ruler, I'm going to connect it back to the chest line. just like this. Just going to blend that part. Then on the chest line, since I've already marked my bust measurement, I'm just going to add 1.5 for sewing allowance. Then on the waist, I'll mark my waist measurement. Then I'm going to replace the darts. Then plus 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. Then I'm going to connect that with a spatula, just like this. Just have to blend these parts. So on the waist, I'll come down by 1 inch, just as I did in the front. Then I'll connect it to the that leg. So after that, I'm going to come up by ½ inch. Then I'll use the curvy part of my ruler to connect it to the dart leg. Then for my zipper line on the waist part, I'll go in by ½ inch just to eliminate zipper bulge. Then I'll be placing my ruler this form. Then I'll connect it to the upper part, also to the down part. Just place your ruler in a slant form. Then you are going to mark that out like this. And this is all for the back. So I'll be cutting this out. And this is it for the back. So I'll be labeling this the side back and the center back, the center front and the side front. So for the off shoulder, you're just going to determine the part you want to cut off. For me, I want my off to fall on the right part. So I'm just going to place my ruler like this. From the neckline to the armhole, just place it. See the way I place it from the armhole like this. So I'm just going to mark that out with my marker, just like this. Then on this part, I'm just going to close it a little bit with my sellotape. I'm just going to hold it down with my sellotape. Then after that, I will blend this part. Then I'll cut it out. And that's all for the front off shoulder. Then for the back part, I'm just going to arrange this properly. I'm going to hold it with my pen so it doesn't shift at all. So after that, on the zipper line, I'm going to fold the zipper line in just like this. I'm just going to fold it in like this. Then I'm going to hold this down with my sellotape. So after that, we have successfully closed the zipper part, just like this. So the next thing now is for me to bring in the front part so I can check the part I want to cut off. So you see the way I place this, the wrong side is facing the wrong side. Please don't make mistake of cutting this separately. Make sure to cut it together just the way I'm doing. So you don't go and cut it one, then at the end you find out that you've cut your material wrongly. So after that, I'm just going to mark this part out since I already know the part I want to cut off. So I'm going to place it like this, then tape it down. So after that, I'm going to place my ruler like this from the neck point to the armhole point. Then I'm going to mark that with my marker like this. So after that, I'll cut this out. So the next thing is to remove the tape. Then after removing the tape, you are going to open up the zipper part and you find out that this part is not equal. You are just going to blend it with your curve ruler, then you are going to cut it out. So this is all for the drafting. So the next thing is for me to cut this on my fabric. So I'll be placing this like this on my fabric, and I'll be adding the necessary allowance that I needed for my sewing allowance. So for the back part, anytime you want to cut the back, please make sure to check the shoulder very well before you cut. So this is it after I'm done cutting it on my fabric, and I've gone ahead to add the necessary allowance that I needed both on the armhole line, and this is the back part. As you can see, please, when you want to cut, like I said earlier on, try to check this shoulder very well before you cut. Don't just cut it one. Always check very well before you cut, and don't forget to add your sewing allowance. I also added a sewing allowance to the neckline because I'll be turning this with a lining. You can also you can do this without a lining if you want. All you have to do is to cut out a facing for it once you're done joining, if you don't want to make use of lining. So I've gone ahead to iron a paper stitch to my lining just to add a structure to it. So I'll be joining my main fabric separately, then the lining separately. Then after that, I'll use it to turn the neckline. So I'm done joining the pieces together, and this is what I have for the main fabric. And I've gone ahead to iron the seam open. Make sure to iron the seam open. And the same thing I did on the main fabric, that's the same thing I did on the lining too. So the next thing is for me to use the lining to turn the neckline. So I'm going to be matching this up like this, seam to seam. Then I will hold it down with my pin. So I'll continue to match it up like this, seam to seam, so that everything can align. So after I'm done matching it up, then I will head over to my machine and stitch this all the way down. So I'm done joining the lining and the main fabric together, and I've gone ahead to attach my zipper on the main fabric, not on the lining, only on the main fabric. So for the armhole, this is a sleeveless dress, so I'm just going to hold the armhole like this. You see the way I hold it, as if I want to top stitch on it. Then I'm going to go to the wrong part like this. Then I will hold that half inch that I fold in. I will hold it together like this. Make sure to match it properly, seam to seam. Then I'm going to be sewing this round. I'm just going to sew this all the way round. So I'm done stitching on it. So this is the armhole. So I'm done sewing the armhole. So the next thing is for me to turn it to the right part. Very easy, just like this. So this is what the armhole looks like. Then for the zipper part, I'm going to be closing the zipper area with my lining like this. So I'll be stitching this close to the zipper line, but not too close. So I will repeat the same process on the other side too. So after that, this is what I have, and I've gone ahead to give it a good press. As you can see, the inside, this is what the inside looks like. So I'm just going to zip up, and this is the front. Note I didn't pack this, so I'm just going to cut out the piece for the gathers. Since I used 2 years to achieve this style for this size, so all I have to do is to cut this piece into 2. So I'll be using 1 yard on one side and the other one on the other side. For the length is 21 inches. So I'll just sew this on this part first. Then on the other side too, I will sew it from the hem to the upper part. So after sewing it on the both sides, whatever that is remaining up there, I'm going to be pleating that on the waist side. And I'll be doing that on both sides. So I'll head over to my machine now, then I'll stitch this up, then I'll come back and show you what I have. So this is it after I'm done pleating the gather, and I've gone ahead to add my applique. So, and I'm gone ahead to hem the down part of the dress, as you can see. So for the applique, I use this gun and a candle gun from my applique. You can use any gun of your choice, but this is the one I prefer using. And that is all for this tutorial. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed. Thanks for watching and see you in my next video. Bye.